It's time to talk about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. The fight has concluded and it was aired on Netflix. Jake Paul is the winner on a unanimous decision. Now, I have a few things that I would like to talk about in this video on the reasons why I did not purchase a subscription on Netflix, I did not watch the fight, and did not want to watch the fight, regardless of any promotions that I may have watched right here on YouTube, including the weigh-in and the slap and all of that. There were a few things that I noticed on the run up to this fight that I did not like, and it was not boding well for Mike Tyson going into this fight. One of the things that I noticed is during the training footage of Mike Tyson, not only with the running, where you could see that he was clearly having some lower region issues with his legs and trying to make his stride during the sprint of his training footage that was shown, but also with the pads and the pad work that he was doing in the ring with his trainer. Now that footage was from the waist up. So I was thinking, I was pretty sure the trainer was not wearing shoes. Later on, we found that the trainer was not wearing shoes within that ring. And if you know anything about boxing or combat sports, when you're not wearing anything on your feet to stabilize your footing in the ring against a boxer of Mike Tyson's caliber, you are going to be slipping and sliding all over the ring, especially inside of a boxing ring. That was one thing that I looked at and was like, why are they trying to make Mike look more powerful than he potentially already is? So I'm like, if he's got power, you need to be wearing shoes in that ring, especially during the sport of boxing. So I looked at that and I thought, are they trying to make Mike look more of a monster than he actually is? And is there a reason behind that? Just after that, he was then diagnosed with the stomach ulcer. So he had the stomach ulcer, which again is a really bad health issue to go through before you're getting into a boxing ring and you are potentially going to take body shots. I have fighters in my family who were champions. I know that when you are in multiple fights over the years, your body takes a toll. This could be joint pain. This could be other head traumas that you are faced with for the rest of your life because of your combat sport history. Mike Tyson was a world heavyweight champion, and there were many shots that he took to the body, head, and face throughout his entire career. He's also over 30 years older than his opponent. Jake Paul is in his late 20s. Mike Tyson is a pensioner heading towards his 60s, much like some of the fighters that I know who have been in many fights throughout their career. So there's a lot of toll and there's age as a factor in this fight. And it doesn't matter what type of fighting ability you had in your prime in your younger days, when you are taking so many fights throughout your career and you're at an older age, you are really putting yourself at risk when you're going into that ring. People sort of disregard fighters and people who are in athletics or any sort of physical job or role when it comes to their later ages. And for some reason, people just completely disregarded Mike Tyson in this fight run-up because of footage like what I've spoken about earlier on in this video of him working on the pads and that sprint that he was doing. Now, as I said, in that pad work in the ring, Mike Tyson already has power. So for the fact that you're not wearing any shoes in the ring while you're working on the mitts with Mike Tyson, I was like, that looks bad, because you're going to be all over the place. You're not going to be able to get any stable footing and grip onto the ring with your footwear when you're taking those shots from Mike Tyson. So already I was like, that's a sign that it's not going to be good for Mike Tyson. Why I didn't purchase the Netflix subscription: one, A, right now I can't afford it. B, I've just had a birthday. I've just hit 34 years old. It's the 16th of November. My birthday was 6 days ago. I was 33. I'm now 34. And of course, during that time period, I might have spent just a little bit more money than I would usually spend on things that I wouldn't normally buy. Now, that isn't the case, but I just don't have the money for the Netflix subscription. Also, if I did, I wouldn't anyway, because I don't feel that this was a fight that I really wanted to watch. It felt like there was a lot of shareholders and investors that needed this fight to happen, and Mike Tyson may have already needed this fight to happen as well, because as I was looking into this fight and the feedback from real life people, not through the people that are paid to talk on the internet, but through real life people that I was having conversations with, elderly people. When I mentioned this fight to them, A, they didn't know it was happening, and B, when I said to the elderly guys who were into boxing beforehand, I was like, hey, yo, Mike Tyson's fighting this YouTuber, the first thing that would come out of these men's mouth was, oh, so he's still in debt, oh, so he needs the money. So that was really the mentality of the true boxing fans that I was talking to in real life on this fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. He shouldn't be in the ring fighting somebody that's half his age, regardless of his athletic ability, his capability, and the current power that he might already still have to be a dangerous man. Of course, he only threw, 17 punches in the fight. So already, if he did have and possess that power, that knockout power to be able to damage Jake Paul, you wouldn't really be able to tell from the amount of punches that he threw. 17 punches is not a lot of punches in order to make a decision on somebody's power of their punches. There's no way. You wouldn't be able to tell somebody's power of their punches, true power in a competitive boxing environment to know if they possess that knockout power. Because it's going to be harder to knock out somebody in their prime with only 17 punches. It's not going to happen. So I didn't respect this fight going in. Yes, I still respect Mike Tyson as the person and the competitor and the power that he still may possess. I don't feel like this is a fight that I can judge him on, and it's also not a fight that I can judge Jake Paul on. So if anything, it's a nil and void fight that I'm just not respecting, not paying attention to, and everybody else is seeing through it as well. And there are a lot of people online that are looking at this fight as an absolute farce, a circus, and it did not need to happen. Respect to the fighters for getting paid so much money for going through with it in the first place. Mike Tyson, you've pulled through some absolute trials in order to actually make it into this ring in this time in your life, to be able to survive that fight and come out on the other side. That is respectful on that regard. For Jake Paul, I really don't feel like this was a good fight for you to take. It doesn't make you look any better in terms of the boxing credibility that you're trying to earn. And I feel like this is really just a lot of investors that may have forced you into this position, or maybe you just made the decision yourself to go through with this fight as well. It's just like, meh. So that's my overall thoughts on this fight. As I said, I know a lot of fighters of that age group approaching their 60s. They are grandparents as well. So I think Mike Tyson might be a grandparent as well. So keep that in mind, that, to be able to survive that fight is a really good thing. Would I put my fighters in that I know at the age that they're at in a fight with Jake Paul at 27 years old, who's currently training to try to be a heavyweight champion? No. It doesn't make any sense. It's like you're bullying an old man, especially going the distance. Maybe in like a 2-rounder, that would make sense. But to go the distance in that fight, you're just being silly at that point. So that's why I thought I weren't buying it. I'm not buying into it. Didn't agree with it. Doesn't change my opinion of the fighters whatsoever. It just seemed kind of pointless of a fight. Yes, it's a Netflix event. Fair dues, you got paid your money. That's about it. There's some more content that you can see on screen right now. This has been some real talk from me, Anthony Allen. As you can tell, I'm quite ill right now, but I decided to make this video anyway. So if you appreciate that, then give this a thumbs up. I got it all up in the chest. I've had a temperature. I've had something. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to fight it off. I'm 34 years old and trying to fight that off. Imagine having a stomach ulcer. Nah, mate. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. More content right here. Thanks for watching.